What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Tunnel Vision. We back for another one. We back. DZON's in some trouble, man. Trouble is a brewing, as they say. Troubles is a brewing. DZON is cutting their budget. They were yapping about the $1 billion deal. You know, about how they got the biggest budget in boxing, about how they were untouchable. You know, Eddie Hearn was talking about how Showtime was going to be out of business in a year. It's only a couple of weeks to the day when he said that. So, Showtime, you better step it up, man. You better hurry up. You only got a couple more weeks to be around before you're out of here, according to Eddie Hearn. You know, you only got a couple more weeks. Better get a show or something. Or you're supposed to be out of here in about a couple of weeks, man, from when he said it last. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not shocked. I mean, the amount of money that they've been spending and they've been putting on fights makes absolutely no sense. It's beyond asinine. And I mean, you're giving people the person that someone would make in a $80 million pay-per-view type of bout, $90 million pay-per-view. You know what I mean? That's the kind of money that you're giving the fighters. And you're not getting anything major in return. Viewership-wise, they're not getting the viewership. I mean, they've literally had bouts where they've had 25,000 people watching the bouts. Ramirez versus Hooker, 25,000 people with whatever the hell his name is. Damn, what the hell's that boy's name? Farmer on the undercard, 25,000 views. That ain't good, man. Canelo Alvarez fights Danny Jacobs and they get, 650,000 concurrent views. And just for people who don't know, concurrent doesn't mean there was 650,000 people watching. It means because with DZON, you can have multiple devices on an account that's, watching the bout. So I could be watching a bout in my room. My son could be watching a bout in another room. And then, somebody else could be watching another bout in another room. Or I could just give the account to multiple other people, and just basically split the money 3 ways. So that's not even the actual amount of people that are watching that bout. Worldwide, they said 1.2 million concurrent views. So who knows what that is? 800,000 actual people, 700,000 actual people that watch that bout. Even if it was 1.2. So 1.2 million people watch that bout, and you spent $40-50 million on that bout. Canelo getting $30-something million for that. Danny Jacobs supposed to make anywhere, if I think it was like 11 to 13 million. You can't continuously do that. Golovkin's literally fighting super bums and getting paid like $15 million a fight to do so. Fought some super bum, got paid like $15 million. Got to get paid a boatload of money again for this fight coming up next week that I don't think anybody even knows about. No one's even, remembering the fact that he has a bout next week. All the money they're paying to everybody else. You can't continue to do that and get no return. They were expecting this big, huge splash where they thought they were going to come in, they're going to give all this money to different people. All these different fighters were going to come into their network. They were going to get this huge influx of subscribers, like 3-4 million, 2-3 whatever million. And that was going to be it. They've had this assumption in their head, you get somebody like a Canelo Alvarez, those million fans that used to watch him on HBO or on Showtime, they're just going to automatically just buy packages on DZON to watch him fight. And that's not necessarily the case. And they're starting to see that that's not necessarily the case. They kind of took the HBO format and they took a UK format and thought that they're gonna throw money at it and somehow it's gonna work. Like we're gonna just get some big names, we're gonna have them fight whoever, and people are just gonna watch. We're gonna put Eddie Hearn out there because he has a big mouthpiece. He's always talking on the internet. He gets a boatload of views when he talks to IFL or whatever and all these other publications. So we're just gonna talk. We're gonna have him go out there and talk. and then we're gonna pretty much probably use him as our promotion, and we're gonna get all this huge influx of subscribers. We're gonna get Anthony Joshua. We're gonna put him on our platform, and we're gonna get this huge influx. And they're gonna say, "Hey, we only gotta pay $10 or $20 a month. Oh my gosh, the difference between this and pay-per-view. Oh yeah, we're gonna pay for this." And it didn't happen. So you're getting no revenue stream coming in from this. You know what I'm saying? They made this huge investment and they're getting nothing out of it. I thought one of the most asinine deals, believe it or not, was the fact that they had spent so much money on Canelo Alvarez. You're spending so much money on this guy, and you're talking about getting 2 dates a year out of him. That's it. 2 dates. 2 dates is not going to maintain a fan, maintain people, buying your paper, buying your, to watch your platform month after month after month for an entire year, just because of 2 events. This is America, Jack. You don't have something, on that channel that people want to watch on a consistent basis. Man, they're gonna do exactly what they've been doing. That month that Canelo's fighting, they're gonna get that package. And after that's done, they're gonna cancel it. They're going to wait again until he's fighting again, then they're going to purchase that package again. As soon as he's done, they're going to cancel it. And then they got a couple of homeboys, they're going to split that up 3 ways too, since they can do that. They're going to do that. They're going to make your views concurrent. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make it concurrent. You're not going to, you're asked out. And it's not like you're getting a portion of the gate. That's still justified in them getting portions of the gate. And that's going to be it. And it just hasn't happened. I think they said DZON has 425,000 subscribers so far in the United States. So far they spent 200 plus $million, close to $250 million. What they got out of it, man? Nothing so far. Not that many subscribers. That's why they had to bump up their subscriptions from $10 to $20 a month. That's why in the United States, you don't get a 30-day free trial anymore in the United States. You don't get that anymore. So they're in a heap of trouble when it comes to what they've been spending and what they've been getting out of it. And I think they're going to soon, if things don't jump up, they're either going to start looking at other avenues of bringing in subscribers to their platform, or just basically what they've been doing right now. Like, we're gonna trim down what we've been spending, because I think they'll still keep the boxing, because at the end of the day, they need to get they need to have something on DAZN that Americans are going to be interested in and going to watch. So most of the things that DAZN has on right now, Americans aren't interested in those things at all. The only thing Americans are really interested in that's on DAZN is boxing. So you still want to keep some kind of content that's on that channel. So they probably will end up decreasing the amount of money that they have. Don't be shocked if there's an end to that Canelo deal soon too. That deal wasn't lock, stock, and barrel, because they were talking about how they wanted him to fight Triple G so bad, where they were willing to end his contract if he didn't fight Triple G. So that means there's outs of that contract. And that contract's not, it's definitely not rock solid, because he was supposed to fight Jaime Munguia. They're looking at him as a possible opponent before, and he was supposed to only get paid, I think, $25 million if he fought Jaime Munguia. That means that thing isn't locked in at 32 or 35 million, or what he was supposed to be getting. I think 32 million. That means that's not locked in. Floyd Mayweather, when he had his deal, he was guaranteed $32 million. It didn't matter who he fought. He fought Andre Berto, and he still got guaranteed $32 million for that fight. So it's not. That deal's not necessarily what I think people, they've led people to believe it is. But man, I just see every single bout they come up with, one after another, after another, after another, and 90% of the time it's like, damn, there's a bout coming up. Somebody on DAZN's fighting, and then a lot of times they also put it on at the same time as some other big event, whether it be a PBC event, whether it be a top rank event, a UFC event, a big huge pay-per-view. For whatever reason, they usually put those in those time frames. Eddie Hearn's having a very hard time booking the main venues out here besides Madison Square Garden. He's been having a very, very hard time booking the larger venues, the known venues. So he's been putting fights in obscure places like Boston and Chicago and Kansas, just places where they usually don't see boxing like that. You know, a lot of events where you're seeing 200 people in attendance, 300 people in attendance, 2,000 people in attendance. That's it. So they're in a heap of trouble right now, man. They're in a heap of trouble. The budget that they gave to Canelo, PBC got that budget from Fox for like a 4-year period. They got their little budget from ESPN, from Showtime, and you see what they're able to do with just that budget. How many fights they're able to crank out a year, meaningful fights that people actually watch. And they used to get trashed for the amount of money they used to spend, and they were actually getting viewership. They were actually getting 1 million plus views. They actually were packing out the house when they set up events, getting easily 7, 10, 12, getting 18, 19,000, like 15,000 for PBC events. Not like a big thing. It's not a big thing. You're getting lower tier fights, getting 6,000, 7,000 people at the venue with actual real ticket prices. You know? But to each his own, man. You know, I saw this day coming just because with the way everything was flowing. The subscribers weren't coming in. The viewership wasn't coming in. Just with the fights, the gates weren't coming in. And I don't know what it is about them, man. They just aren't able to bring that hype when it comes to the events for the most part. You know? They're not. And that's part of why they don't show their numbers either. But, you know, as time goes, we'll see where everything goes. We'll see where everything heads. And when it comes to them, and also when it comes to ESPN, it ain't looking pretty. Like, subscribe. See you on the next one.